0, Curtis Allen for the Panthers.
Is it over?
No, Curtis Allen just scored again. He just scored again.
Oh. He still scored.
He's still scoring. Hey, Kobe, he's still running. He's still running.
Ooh. Oh, man. Oh, that ain't. Hold on, wait a minute.
He's still scoring.
Ooh. Oh, one more time. Hold on, wait a minute.
Well, we got Steve in shock, but welcome you guys. It's Boy Johnson HBCU game day. We are the Road Runners, the Road Warriors, and as you guys can see from the beginning of the video, from the beginning of the show, the Rams didn't have a good weekend, and Steve's taking it pretty hard. He knows that the season is probably over now. Curtis Allen, man. I don't even want to say his name that much because I was scared that Steve might have nightmares of him throughout the rest of the week. So, as you guys can see, Virginia Union put belt to Winston-Salem State University as Virginia Union gets the win. And we're going to go on and talk about some other games that we got coming up. But Steve, wake up, man. It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
You're not dreaming. You're not dreaming. It wasn't fake. I know you keep hearing Curtis Allen for the touchdown. Curtis Allen, first down. Curtis Allen, 7-yard. I know you keep hearing it in your head. You keep playing it back. I promise you, like, it's not a dream. It really happened. But, it's okay. We shake it off and we move on to the next week. That's what football is all about. You know what I'm saying? You take your lumps and then you keep on pushing and going forward. It's okay.
Yo, I want Steve to clip on the show last week where Clarence called out the potential BTA. Clip that, Clarence.
We got to find it and post it on Twitter and we'll repost it.
Hold on. Wait.
Oh, Lord. V Union. V Union, 408 rushing yards. Winston State, 400 total yards of offense. Lord have mercy. See, and you know what's funny, Kobe, in the chat? If y'all was here last week, Steve said, and I quote, even whenever the Rams lose, we always show up. We still gonna talk. He mighty quiet today. He real quiet today.
Oh,
he said it last week. He said, anything about us Rams. We gonna talk trash, win or lose or draw. We gonna talk. He is pretty quiet today.
yo, Lonzo, appreciate the love on the receipts. Please keep giving up the receipts.
Curtis Allen, 250 rushing yards. He probably could have had more. 4 touchdowns. It felt like 7. Davion Lee, my God.
Oh, man, Curtis Allen is still running.
He's still running to this day. Still running to this day, man. Still running. Come on, Steve. It's all right. It's okay.
Come back, brother. Talk about the game. Tell us about the game.
It's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. It's all right. We know Livingstone got beat by 97 points to Elizabeth City, so it's okay. You're not alone. You're not alone.
So talk, brother.
See, that's the problem right there. We cannot be comparing ourselves to Livingstone in football. That's a problem. And Chaney ain't got a team to talk about, so there we go there. But it's all right. I'm gonna push on through. I'm gonna push on through just like Curtis Allen did yesterday. I'm not even gonna go full speed. I ain't even no need. All right. Now that all the ish and giggles, are out of the way, let's get to some serious business on today. My name is Stephen J. Gaither, joined by Jacoby Simmons and Joshua Williams, and we're the HBCU Road Warriors. All right, let's get to it. Before we do that, though, on a serious note, we want to take the time to send our thoughts and prayers out to the family at South Carolina State University. They had a shooting on their campus, and at least one person lost their life, and there were some others that were injured. Also understand there were some other situations around the HBCU world. And so, it's, again, our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody. You can see we like to have fun, especially at my expense. But, at the end of the day, it's all about supporting HBCUs. And, over the past couple of weeks, I've had to write several stories about the HBCUs being threatened in the wake of everything that's going on in the world. And a lot of those are outside threats, but unfortunately, sometimes the threats that are the toughest to diffuse are the ones that are the closest to you. And so, without having all the particulars of all the situations, just telling everybody, really to be safe out there, protect yourselves first and foremost, your family and your friends, but also protect your institutions. I know here in North Carolina, the state HBCUs mostly have come out and said that they're going to be shutting down campus for homecoming at a certain time, different times for different ones. And so it's very sad. But again, like I said, not only protect yourselves, but also protect your family, your loved ones, and your friends, but also your institutions. We can't always control everybody that comes on our campus. A lot of us have open campuses. Some of us have walls and things that, can kind of cut down on this stuff. Some have initiated curfews. Others, are making sure that they are charging fees so that everybody that comes in, you can't just be like, hey, I'm going to go over here and start something. You at least, as some type of a go-between. So very tough news to talk about. But, it's important as homecoming season continues to ramp up. So thoughts and prayers are with them. I know there was a situation at Virginia State University. It wasn't a student, but it did happen adjacent to the basketball facility over there. So it's just a really important thing to say.
And Steve, real quick, I wanted to speak on that situations as well. To me, it just personally hurts because of being a recent graduate in 2022 at Livingstone College. I've been to multiple situations where we've had certain things happen on campus and homecomings and stuff like that. And it really does hit home to me, and it hurts me because it's like majority of the time where these instances are happening on our campuses, I'm pretty sure I can guarantee it has nothing to do with the students of our campuses. And it sucks because it's like we're inviting other people and other friends that we have from other schools, and we're already trying to beat the negative stigma that people already put out on HBCUs, and then we have situations like this that happens on some of the times that we're supposed to cherish with homecomings and alumni coming out and having friends and guests over. But these situations happen on our campuses that sadly and more than likely the majority of them are not in the hands of our own students, and it just sucks. And we have to figure out something because it's like we don't want to take away from the bright side and the positive sides of it, but all these different deaths and all these different shootings going on our campuses it's very hard. It really hurts my heart a lot because I have a little sister who's in school, and man, it hurts every single time when I see that ticker come up and it says shooting at this campus, and it just, I call my sister every night and let her know, like, look, man, please be safe. Please, please, please be safe, because it's crazy out here these days, man. I'm just sending prayers out to South Carolina State, prayers out to Virginia State, and, just hope everybody, keeps prayed up and stuff like that.
Yep. Well said. Well said, Josh. All right. Let's transition to on the field. Some people had fun. Some people didn't. All right. So I'm glad you guys said something about clearance too and B to A because we got there was an official B to A. We'll get to that. All right. Let's see. So, all right. So speaking of B to A, we're gonna start. And again, we really mostly keep this to the Division I stuff for the most part because again, although Tylee and Wilton and Simone maybe will handle the MEAC and the SWAC. There's a D2 show that myself and Chris do, as well as what Sly and Jamie do as well on our D2 Wednesdays. But we're gonna talk about the games we got to, and we'll get to that B to A over in Bowie. All right, so let's see. So let's get started. All right, so major B to A. The defending SWAC, defending HBCU national champions showed why they are that. A lot of people a couple weeks ago were doubting whether or not their offense was going to be good enough to, high powered enough to keep them where they wanted to be. And the last 2 weeks, starting in that end of that first half against Southern, they've just turned it on. And this week, they turned it all the way on in Mobile, Alabama, in the Gulf Coast Challenge. Alabama A&M under Sam Shea came in feeling good a couple weeks ago. They lost last week, and they took a B to A official. Now, a B to A, as we have previously defined, is a 21-point loss or more. Yeah. So we had Jackson State 57, Alabama A&M. This is the second time this year, I believe, on the Division I level that we've had 700 plus yards of offense from an HBCU. North Carolina Central did it to North Carolina A&T a couple weeks ago, and Jackson State hit that mark. Jacoby and Morgan had a great game, throwing the ball, running the ball, doing pretty much whatever he wanted to do. And there was nothing that Alabama A&M could do as they got there. Jackson State continues to show why they are where they are. And next week there's a big matchup. We'll get to that. But on the other side of that this was not quite a B to A in the traditional sense, but hey, it definitely. We'll just talk about it since we're going to get to the other side of it, and that is next week they're going to take on Jackson State. Will take on Alabama State, who this past week. Let me see. I'm going to HBCUGameDay.com for the official score. You guys can do that as well. It's also in the app. If you download the app, you guys will be able to get that all the scores.
I think it was 52-35. Alabama State over Bethune-Cookman.
Yeah. Clarence, you just keep on talking, buddy. You just keep on talking. You made it worse. We gonna get there. You just keep on talking, buddy. All right. Let's see. So let's go to next up. Alabama State and Jackson State. Really big matchup next week. You'll hear a lot about that. I'm sure Tylee and Wilton will talk about that as well. Josh, did you have anything to add on that? I know you you kind of keep up with it all, but you're looking forward to that quarterback versus defense matchup next week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that matchup. Might actually be there to film it myself. So hopefully, fingers crossed for that. Definitely excited to see how that matchup is going because I went back and watched the Alabama A&M versus FAMU game, and I'm gonna be honest. Before this season, I wasn't the biggest Andrew Body fan. I'm gonna be honest. I wasn't the biggest fan, but one of the biggest traits as a man is that you can acknowledge whenever you were wrong. I was wrong. Andrew Body is definitely, I personally think, the best quarterback in the SWAC as of today. Like, he is playing lights out football. I mean, he's getting it done with his legs. He's making every throw with his arm, off platform throws, rolling out the pocket. And I also got to give it up to the offensive coordinator because they figured out a good play style for him that they like between him throwing the ball downfield to getting it into their offensive skill player weapons' hands to where they can get the ball in screen passes and little underneath passes to where they can go and make plays down the field. So next week, man, I'm super excited for that Jackson matchup because Jackson is very physical. They're very sound. They're very disciplined. Jacoby Morgan had himself a game versus Alabama A&M. And it's going to be two great teams, two even like matched up teams that are going to go down in Jackson, and it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be one to remember. It's going to be a dogfight. And me personally, just so far, I think it's going to be the SWAC championship game that we see later on throughout the season. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Gotcha. Well, it's gonna. It could be a de facto SWAC East championship. It can't be the SWAC championship game because they're in the same division.
Right.
But
right.
Yeah, no doubt. So we'll get to that, and we'll look at the end of we'll look at next week at the end of this. So let me stay in order. But I will answer this one. Well, I'll get to the end of this. But Sylvester Neal, I'm going to have a response for you. Eastern Illinois, they took Tennessee State behind the woodshed, 31-7. It's been since that first game against NCAT where they escaped with a win. It's been tough sledding.
Ain't been looking good.
Yeah, they look like a team that lost most of their roster and coaching staff, and they didn't get there until late in the spring. It looks like that. So I guess a game against NCAT can make you feel better about yourself than it should. And also in the B-A category, 21 plus. That is Texas Southern 51. Mm-hmm. UAPB coming off of what it felt like a big win last week.
Nah.
What they say, you're only good as your last game.
And only funky as your last cut. You focus on the past shit. You know. Go search that, kids. Genius that. All right. So those are the B to A's on the Division I level. Now we get to the almost doesn't count. Prairie View.
Whoa! Oh, you said Division I. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, go ahead. We're gonna get to the Division II in just a second.
Okay.
All right. So almost doesn't count. Prairie View escapes with a 13-12 win. They stay perfect in SWAC play. Major for them. They are in the SWAC West. Some would say the SWAC less. And
or the SWAC mess.
SWAC mess. Yes, it's a mess over there. They've been doing a lot of talking for them not to be playing as good as I would like for them to be.
Yeah.
Who's good in the West?
Me, you, us.
Snoop Dogg is good in the West.
Yeah, that's the only one right now.
Yeah, man. You know. Hey, you know, the end of the day, man, that's the way that they got it set up, and so it's East versus West, and you know, so all they got to do is be better than the rest of the West, and they'll get a chance. So, then we also had North Carolina speaking of NCAT, they were up early, and they found a way to snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. You marinate on that one. Yeah. All right, 38-34, William and Mary. And man, look, every week I go to A&T's press conference, and every week they give me a show. I'll be there again this week. Last week we got the NBA young boy comment. 2 weeks ago we found out they were squirting water, and Sean Gibbs has been very transparent about the changes that they need to make. He did say that he felt like minus the A&T game and of course the UCF game, he didn't feel like there was a big talent gap in what he had. It was funny. He was like, we know there wasn't one against Hampton. But yeah, they were up in this game on the road, and they just haven't learned how to really close it out. So, yeah.
That seems like a problem with a lot of our schools, especially when we talk about the North. I don't know what to tell you, brother. And I know you're going to get to, Morgan State?
Yeah.
Well, go ahead. Just talk to us about Morgan State, man.
Well, I mean, like they were up. They got down, I believe, early. They came back and were up. Was it less than a minute left or a minute left?
It was less than a minute.
They turn over the ball or give up the ball around the 50, and then they get a Hail Mary. I don't know how in the world. I don't know.
Find ways to lose, man. Finding ways to lose. And now the resume of their wins just look even worse now because it's like, they beat what, a Division II team in Miles? Barely beat them.
Yeah.
Barely beat them. So it's like, when they come to MEAC play, it's
interesting because they score points or they're in position to win most of the game. It's always something at the end. So you got to figure what that is.
They can't close it out. They haven't been able to close out the close ones recently, which is very surprising because Morgan is always known to hold the door and have a solid defense. But it's like now, I don't know.
Yeah. They still play good D. They're not as consistent as they were before, but they still play very, very good defense. Yeah. And they have playmakers. I don't care what anybody says. I'll put their skilled players up against anybody's in any league.
They do got some great skill players. I do like their skill positions. Just the fact on them staying consistent and being able to, like you say, finish out the games whenever the going gets rough. Can you finish out and close out the game? Can you stay focused all 4 quarters of the game?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. Finish.
I was gonna say, there's been a lot of talk about Morgan State and Damon Wilson, and we know what he did in the CIAA. As his program continued to grow, because it wasn't an overnight success over at Bowie. It wasn't an overnight success there. They took a couple years to build, but we're in a different era now. We're getting more exposure and things like that. And you're not getting most places. You're not getting 6, 7, 8 years to build. You're not, nor should you, to be honest with you.
And the part that's frustrating with Morgan State is you have a coach in a school like Delaware State who's been known for not accomplishing anything in recent years. Coach Deshaun Jackson in year 1, even though he did a pretty decent job of recruiting, but they found their identity on the offensive side of the ball, and they know what they're going to do. And they're going to make sure that they fine-tune it and adjust to it and figure their way out, figure out the kinks and the wrinkles to it, and make sure that they're going to find different ways to run the ball. They want to, they're going to run the ball. But Morgan State, they still haven't found their true identity. They don't know if they want to, be a predominant run team. They don't know if they want to air the ball out sometimes and get it into the skill players' hands. Like Kobe said, they got some great skill players that they try to get the ball into some hands sometimes. And it's like, he's been there for a long time. And it's like, you haven't been able to really recruit as good as he's wanted to. And they haven't really been able to stick to a true identity that can actually give them some true consistency.
Yeah, I would have pushed back and make that more specific. They haven't found the quarterback for that offense they want to run because they got players.
Yeah.
We're still talking about the offensive players and everything else. Finding a quarterback that he needs to run the offense he wants, because he's been able to. We showed that he could get a dynamic offense when he was at Bowie. Now he has to find a quarterback, and that's and a lot of times, as we say, that was the initial issue with HBCU play, is the quarterback play of recent. Now we got a few more quarterbacks that can ball out recently. Besides Pootie Carter back then, who else was the other good quarterback we thought was Davius, Richard, and then who else?
There's this guy named Shador.
Okay.
You want to go Lamar? You can go Lamar.
That's back a little further, but yeah. So I mean, every year there's at least 2 or 3 guys that are just really good and really solid. But you got, and then there's the guys that are good, but they don't have the other pieces around them. But Morgan State is something that they're one of those programs that if you look at them historically over the past 45 years, I went back over the last 45 years since they won the MEAC championship in 79.
Mm-hmm.
They have had 4 winning seasons. 4 seasons over more than 500. So, again, again, you talk about Dell State, and obviously Dell State has actually had, a bit more success recently. Not a lot, but a bit more success recently. But, obviously what Deshaun Jackson's doing is brought a lot of energy. But you look at a coach like Damon Wilson, he knows how to coach the game. He knows the game. But what is it that's not translating there at that level? And so I always look at things like, okay, if a program is, again, that's the thing. They've been consistently bad since Michael Jackson dropped off the wall. That just is what it is. They have been consistently bad. They have a couple of years where they were good, but, nobody's really trying to hear that, especially when you got a Deshaun Jackson who's coming in and,
Exactly.
off the rip and, so it's going to be, it's definitely going to be interesting moving forward. Not to get too bogged down
In
there.
the weeds.
Yeah. So let's keep rolling. So we also, and then we talked about both of these teams, well, sort of earlier. Hampton, 41, Norfolk State, 34.
This one is shocking to me, man. I'm truly shocked that I don't want to. It's truly shocking to me that Vic still has looked like he somewhat knows what he's doing. Like, it still looks like he's nervous. It still looks like he's anxious and doesn't really know what to do. And I wonder if, like, has he? I don't know what's going on over there, man. Because they have the players. They have the players. They have the team. I don't know what's missing. And some people said the experience, which I agree on as well. But it just, I would have thought by now you would at least like get you like a little bit more of an understanding of what's going on. But whenever I went back and I didn't watch the full game. I watched like half of the game. I'm like, he still looks a little bit lost. Like he doesn't really know like what to do as much. And I'm shocked on that part because it's like, I mean, we 5-6, we about to be in conference play now, and conference play in the MEAC takes forever to get to. You got to tighten it up before then. Because if they finish last in the MEAC, which I'm pretty sure nobody had guessed. Not saying it's going to be hot over there, but it's going to be loud. It's going to be real loud.
Well, it all depends, and him trying to figure it out. I think that has to do with some possible assistant coaches and who he's asked to be in that support. Because you can see, like, when you start mentioning differences with programs and stuff, sometimes the coaches are just as competent. It depends on how good the assistant coaches are.
Very true.
When you look at that, who's mentoring him? Who does he have around him? What does he have around the team and leading them is a question that we have to sit back and look at. As far as that, because sometimes if you don't got the right things in order or the right people around you, it doesn't help, or you can't get that. Because we definitely know Deshaun has reached out for mentorship, and I'm not saying Vic hasn't, but he's also a different mentality. Vic's very laid back. Deshaun Jackson has a lot of energy, you know what I mean, and he relates to the younger kids different, and he has older coaches around him. He literally has a bunch of older coaches mixed in with some young ones, so. That's what I do like about Delaware State and the difference between him and Mike Vick.
Yeah, it's So that's going to be the thing. He's going to be all right. This is it right here, Alonzo. See, future Dr. Turner, who's also a WSSU class of 2009 graduate as well.
Jeez.
He definitely broke it down right here. Look, the main thing with Vic was to get some. Norfolk State is a basketball school. They are. Yes. They just are. They got this big football stadium for God knows why. I know why. When they were in Division II and they were in the CIAA and they were competitive, they used to get a larger crowd. But Yeah. They got this huge football stadium that they got to get people in. And we saw the first couple weeks they were packing them in.
Packed out.
Yeah.
Packed out.
And they raised the price up. This is what it goes back to. This is my theme for the entire day. And don't worry, Clarence, we're gonna get to your favorite team in just a little bit. Don't worry, we're gonna get to your favorite school in just a little bit. But it's a package. It's football, a football game, especially now when you're talking about the ticket prices that we're charging now at HBCUs and in general. It's more than just a football team. It's a program and it's a product.
And experience.
Exactly. It's exactly like there's so many things, look at where we are financially in these times. You know what I mean? So many people are having to really be careful with their budgets. A lot of people don't have discretionary budgets. And if they do, are they going to come over here and spend it yelling at a team that's underachieving, that looks listless, and is going to disappoint you consistently? Or are they going to spend it on, hey, I can, go to this trip, or I can go to brunch, or whatever I want to do? So football is college football right now. HBCUs have to understand it's a product. And as long as your consumer base is going to come and pay for it, you're okay. Once they start pulling that away, once they say, hey, you know what? This was cool, but if y'all not going to be any better than this, I'll watch you on ESPN or I'll get the score on my HBCU game day app. You know what I'm saying? That, again, that's the other thing too. Every game is on TV or every game is streamable. So, hey, look, y'all, you can't just roll out any product, and you got to listen to your consumers. See, we got Zoe says you can't go up super crazy on the price until after you have a good product out there. In case against how Norfolk did, it caused to look at numbers going forward.
Not if you hire Michael Vick, though. Not if Michael Vick is your head coach, because it's instantly going to increase everything. Like I would agree with that, but only if they hired anybody else other than a celebrity head coach like celebrity person like Michael Vick. Like any other person, I'm pretty sure like people would care but wouldn't care as much. But with them doing that for Vick, like you just gotta think from like a school and a business perspective. Like it's smart. I'm not saying that they're wrong for doing it. No, it's smart because they know that they're going to drive fans and put butts into the seats. So it's like, let's get them now. Wow, if we put a good product together on the field or not, we still got them ticket year holders. Got them. So it's like it's a smart scheme in my opinion.
It's a smart thing in the long term, but
he got to win.
It's a smart thing in the long term, but again, it's like again, you have to look at this whole thing as a business and consumers, and are you going to have consumer trust? Because consumer trust, you can try to take advantage of consumer interest. And that'll happen for a while, but then when you start getting a consumer trust and your consumers don't trust that you're going to put together a good product, then the interest will go down too. And then you sitting over here with a lot of high-priced seats, maybe even less than what you would have had previously. So I see both sides. There's other ways going to be different. If Norfolk had some winning traction, they didn't and don't. Yeah, and that is also true. That is also true. And again, it's almost like, to me, like the egg before the cart. Why has Norfolk State, which has been a school for 90 years, they have currently to their resume, they have 4 championships. All of them are in the CIAA. They had the one that they got in the MEAC, but that was vacated. So they got 4 championships in 90 years. But in football, but basketball, they're killing. But we all know basketball is much cheaper than football. So there's so many layers to this, and we can't just truly get bogged down into it right now. But it's a very worthwhile discussion. Put the comments in there. I just know Josh and I went to the first game. We went to the first 2 games. It's super hard to get on campus. The prices have gone up. And to be honest with you, the prices were probably underserved before, but again, they consistently haven't put out a good product either. So it's going to be really interesting to see not only how they finish, but also how Norfolk State goes about doing this. Again, short term, it gave them hella boost. Again, I went to the Jackson. I'm sorry, because I was always talking, I thought about Jackson State, but I went to the Norfolk State spring game this year, and it was way beyond any Norfolk State spring game that I had been to before. Went to the first game, and Josh went to the VSU game. I mean, they're getting homecoming type numbers in those first couple of games.
For real.
But now it's like, all right, am I going to go in here to see them? Am I going to go in here to see them lose, or am I just going to hang out at the tailgate? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Norfolk State is a great time. You know what I'm saying? And a lot, again, the football product, and that's going to be the thing I'm going to bang home, especially right down the road. The football product matters. So,
especially with the basketball product being so good at it, as it is at Norfolk, it's gonna be tough, especially after with their homecoming coming up in a couple of weeks. After that game, we're gonna see the numbers start slowly but surely decline.
Well, we saw 8,000 against, I think it was Sacred Heart. Now we know that traditionally when you play a lot of these non-HBCUs that aren't a big name in your stadium, you're going to drop down. But, I mean, they had 19,000 on a Friday night, the first game. They get to a Saturday afternoon game, and they got 8,000. We're already seeing a trend. So, we'll see. The other thing is, because if it comes down to money, because money is always in the background, do you start taking money out of the basketball pot and spending it in the football? Do you? Because football look, basketball, and Coach Rob is my guy. He is my guy for real. Like great guy. And obviously we saw what their women's basketball program has done. Norfolk also pays their coaches more than anybody else in the MEAC. So at a certain point, it's like, all right, what's going to give us the most bang for our buck? Is it going to be football or is it going to be basketball? So I don't know. We'll talk about that. Great discussion for sure. A lot of good stuff. These are 7 Park Ave podcasts. These gentlemen play football at Norfolk State. And so, homecoming. Yeah, Norfolk State homecoming, I think last year they had 30K. So,
it's going to be around 40. It's going to be around 40, 45, 50.
Well, they can only hold 30 in the stadium, but yeah, the outside around it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but it's going to be something for sure. Let's see. Alonzo says also impacts road support. Folks ain't trying to travel.
Yep.
That's why the Hampton game was another disappointment.
Yep.
Zoe says, no, you got to come up with other means to get extra football money. Fair. Zach says, you can't be as bad as Norfolk State has been and expect fans to show up. Give them a reason to leave the house.
Yep.
Period.
Yeah, you can't expect people to pay money for a poor product.
You can't.
And in this time, and I'm not going to get into the game at Delaware State, but even Monmouth had a poor turnout. And they're 12th in the country. So if Delaware State ain't winning, not Delaware, Norfolk State ain't winning.
People are not going to keep coming.
So that's why I said, look, they're gonna have to figure out something. Like I said, again, I don't have the numbers for Norfolk State like I did. I don't have them exactly, but I do know in general they have not had back-to-back winning seasons in the MEAC, and they've been in the MEAC since 1997. So that's what it says. Saddens me that a lot of us as Black folks, fans fail to see the bigger picture when it comes to. That is true. But the administration also has to see that as well, and they have to figure out what is it that we're not doing, that we haven't been doing, to get what we need to get. So great discussion there. I didn't know we were gonna get off on that, but I think it was good. I think it was pertinent. All right, just a couple more before we get into. Okay, so this is where we had ours. I do want to address this as we talk about D2 really quick. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Please make sure you guys hit the like button. I did want to, there was a comment in here that says something, this right here. We have to stop posting negative stigma on this page, take down the Fort Valley Central. No. First of all, Respectfully, Sylvester, no. First of all, this is sports. And yes, fights, brawls, they happen in sports all the time. You know, we all know it, and we can't hide from it, and we can't run away from it. It just is what it is. Of course, because it's not only black student athletes, but because it's black universities, that there are going to be people that are going to criticize us. But if we wanted to avoid being criticized and we wanted to avoid being stigmatized, we wouldn't be able to do a damn thing in this country. So we got to keep going. We got to keep living. You know, folks got to know. Look, the world that we live in right now, everybody don't have a camera. I would pick mine up, but I'm using it. Everybody don't have a camera, but they do have one of these. And, you know, there's no hiding. There's no secrets. And we just have to deal with it. So,
and I'm gonna put it to you as well with this. We have other schools with big games, rivalries. Like last year, all those fights happened during rivalry. The UNC, NC State, Michigan, Ohio State, Florida versus Texas, Florida versus Tennessee. We have all those fights, and you see on these different network shows and all these different sports apps and different people talk, oh yeah, we love to see these rivalry games. We love to see the intensity, this, that, and the third. But why is it whenever it comes to us in our schools, it's looked down upon? Like, not saying that, you know, yes, we don't like to see people fighting in the way that they was after the game. Yes, it looks horrible. But also, it's not saying it's a part of the game, but that's what happened in the game. And that's just how it goes at times.
Yeah, you know, this is something it's consistent. It's not new. We've been doing this pretty much since I started back in 2012, and we're just going to keep doing it. So while I understand the sentiment, you know, it is what it is. Part of what we do is because these clips are going right. It's not like we just like we're on the campus and we're like, oh, let me run and put this up there. No, like there were videos that are already out there. So the content is already out there. What we try to do is, to the best of our knowledge and ability, be able to document and contextualize and move on, you know? So it is where we are even when we talked about the violence on our HBCU campuses, which is a problem, and it is problematic. It's not just on our campuses. We have a violent culture in general in America, in the United States of America, and football is a violent sport. It happens. You know, we were on the field last year with the Central and Howard thing. We did that. A lot of people had feelings about that, but it was what it was. We document it and we move on. And so when the next one comes on, we can see that.
Hey, Clarence, you're a fool, Clarence. Clarence, you is a fool. He was a fool.
All right. Angela says, all right, I fat fingered the send button. I really want us to start reconditioning ourselves to think dollars and cents when it comes to our HBCU sports and academia, period. Makes the world go round. All right, let's get back to it. All right, D2 spotlight, because one of our games is in there, so we'll talk about it. Johnson C. Smith went back up to the 804. This time they stopped in Petersburg. Ettrick. I said on the D2 show the other day that, luckily for Johnson C. Smith, they were having a daylight game, and so they couldn't turn the lights out on them. And, JCSU turned the lights out on VSU. Yeah. Not totally, but now VSU sits at 0-2 in CIAA play technically. Their game against Winston-Salem State, from what I understand, would be a tiebreaker, but it wasn't a CIAA game for VSU. So now they are, after the hot start against Barton, who was 0-4 heading into yesterday. I don't know what they did. After the hot start against them, after almost taking down Norfolk State, after slipping by Winston-Salem State with a 1-point win, they got straight smacked last week against Fayetteville State, and then Johnson C. Smith, took care of them there. So very interesting. We also had I do want to recognize some stuff. Morehouse finally won a game, y'all. So tune in to the SIAC show on Wednesday with Sly and Jamie.
So
And
does that mean they're still on track for D1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Morehouse to the sweat. Morehouse to the sweat.
Now they coming to the MEAC, baby.
Yeah, they're gonna send Norfolk State down in their spot. All right, so yeah, that was the end of a 10-game losing streak for Morehouse. Tuskegee. Clearly, that first
Did they get taken to the woodshed?
Clearly, that game between them and Winston-Salem State was the disappointment bowl and the Crampton Bowl. We just didn't know it yet. We just did not know it yet. And then shout out to a school we don't talk about a lot all the time. Kobe, I'm gonna let you take the lead here. Bluefield State, which picked up its first CIAA win since 1954. There's a stat for you. Woo. There's a stat for you.
They almost been bad as Cheney.
Yeah. So, but you know, again, like I said, there are stats and there's context. So, Kobe, I'll let you go ahead and drop some love on them.
Bluefield State. I mean, like, to be honest. So I'm gonna go back. I have a special place in my heart for Bluefield State. I talk about it all the time. My uncle Tillman Cease was the head coach of their football team, I believe, in the 60s, around some point, early 60s. He eventually went to Howard to coach, but I have that heart, and I went to go see Bluefield. I love the coach. I love his energy, his organization, and what he's trying to fight through, because Bluefield State was a commuter college for a long time. So they don't necessarily have a campus life like every other school. And so they shut down their program, brought it back. And for him to get his first CIAA win is a big deal. And what he's competing against, because every time he gets a good player, they leave. They spend a year down there, and then they're out of here. But now to get him some more wins to see what he can do, I'm telling you, I think he's he's a young coach, but he's definitely a pretty good coach and motivating his team around him. So I definitely would love to congratulate him on that. Shout out to Coach Morgan. That's my dude. But very happy for them.
Yeah, the Shaw Bears. Bears.
Terrible.
Well, hopefully, never mind. We'll get there. All right. Yeah. So shout out to them. All right, and then there was a B to A officially. There were many, but a B to A, and again, we'll get into these. But since our dear friend Clarence is on, Fayetteville State dominates Bowie State.
And I told y'all last week. They had a special belt for them boys. I told y'all that. That's what they told me. They told me there were a lot of messes. They said, tell them boys at HBCU game day that us Fayetteville State boys got a special belt for Bowie for all the talk that they've been doing. That's what they said. Sounds like they delivered. Clarence,
you got to say it like 50. I mean, you got to say Clarence like Cameron says it. Clarence.
Yeah. Yes. Clarence, you were right. Winston did not win, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But you were also very wrong about the multiple touchdowns that you were going to beat. That you were going to beat Fayetteville State by.
Very wrong.
You're no less delusional than any of the rest of us. You also said for the second year that Bowie State was going to be 8-2.
Oh God.
And yes.
No, I think he meant they were going to beat A&T. I know he didn't say 8-2. He might have said they were going to beat A&T, but he definitely didn't say that. And I love Bowie State. You know that's the North. I represent. Clarence.
Come on.
Yes. Tuskegee has a CIAA win over Winston-Salem State. But you know who does not have a CIAA win? Hey, Bowie.
Look, them two like teasing each other.
That's nasty word. That's nasty work, Steve. You're gonna use their own saying, their own shout
Hey,
against them.
hey.
That's nasty work. That's nasty.
All
Hey,
right. Look, man, sometimes you got to laugh to keep from crying. All right.
yeah.
All right, let's get to the games that we were at. Okay, yes, you did say you did say that. So you're rational about everybody except for Bowie State, pretty much. That's pretty. You're rational about everybody except for them. I get it. You know, hey, look, man. Sometimes your heart will have you out here looking like a damn fool. It just will. Hey, you looking like
Tell him you should know, Steve.
we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. All right. You laughing a little too hard over there, Kobe. You laughing a little too hard, man. Talk about your game, man, please.
Oh.
I was at that chair, man.
I was about to get some props. So a very exciting game. It was like it was definitely a track meet, but one was by
Tell everybody
like,
who was, what game was.
I was at Delaware State versus Monmouth, and that was definitely a track meet. And it was like Monmouth was won by air, and Delaware State was 2 by land, because that's how it went. Like I told y'all, I don't know what it is or what they're going to have to do, but Delaware State is going to have to shore up their secondary. And when they were able to open up the pass game, then they started being able to run the ball. And I'm gonna I argue with people a little bit, but Delaware State is a physical team. The thing I do notice was that Deshaun Jackson, I could tell he talked to his team, had them ready and prepared to understand what they were walking into. They were a little bit more. What I didn't like is the swagger and the energy they normally came with. It was like they turned it down a little bit, but they still played with intensity. But they ain't had that same energy. And like I said, it wasn't a big crowd, wasn't a real hostile crowd, and Delaware State was just as physical, and they just fell apart at the end of the game. You know. Monmouth was so aggressive they were going for it on fourth down. I think they got 3 out of 4 fourth downs. They only punted once late in the game. It was a very, very explosive game, and Monmouth did a lot of moving the ball around to keep Delaware State's defense out of place, and their secondary just played horrible. But their running game and their front line mauled Monmouth's front seven. I think they had 280-some yards rushing. I mean, Monmouth had like 600, almost 700 yards. It wasn't 7, but it was a lot. But Delaware State had almost 300 yards on the ground. I got to see Caden Bennett extends plays, but he got to start hitting people and using his arm a little more to open up that defense. So, I mean, if you got up there, it was a good game. Delaware State played 4 quarters. They just didn't have enough at the end to stop them in any kind of way.
All right. So
2 years. They're a beast now.
Yeah,
the coach,
I think they're the real deal now. I think they're the real deal now. I just don't like. I see them finishing third in the MEAC.
I'm telling you that anything can happen. It's MEAC play, and they can score the ball. If you look at Delaware, averages probably over 30 points a game or close to it, right? And if you look at the teams they've played, 2 CIAA teams they put up over 30 on. The number 12 team in the country over 30. They had Delaware State over 20. FBS team. They're putting the ball. Nemo Washington is doing a good job getting them to score. They just got to stop people. Yeah, they got to stop people. Go ahead, Steve.
Oh, no, I was going to say Bowie State alumnus, former contributor for HBCU game day. Yeah, our guy.
And so, they're ready to ball now. That's how I feel. And like I'm skeptical since me and Steve been talking and Howard started Howarding because I was high on Howard early.
Howard started Howarding
a couple years ago, but now I'm before I say stuff, I definitely mean it, and I've thought about it. And I'm telling you, Delaware State is better than people believe. And once they get the discipline down, and if they can find a way to stop this, if the secondary can find a way to play better, I don't think. I think the only team I think can handle them right now would be Central, and
You
I
don't
think
like NC State?
they might be more physical than Central,
You don't like State?
and they're faster.
You don't like South Carolina State?
No, I do, but I don't think if Delaware State keeps playing the way they've been playing, if they have that same kind of energy, and they play Delaware State at home, that
True.
I think Delaware State can beat them. I think
That's Delaware State homecoming game too, right?
No, they play Southern Connecticut homecoming.
Okay.
But I feel like that like the biggest test, like they've played at University of Delaware, St. Francis, Sacred Heart, and Monmouth. None of those games are going to be like in the pit at Central. None of those games are going to be like that. Because when you go to Central, you in the pit, they all up on you. And Delaware State is an emotional team. You know those fans are going to be digging at them. It's going to be a lot going on. That's a hostile environment, and it's no space. You packed in there, and so
it's homecoming, and it's their homecoming.
That's where you have to see if they can maintain and play, because they're going to be physical the whole game. I told you, and they were more physical than University of Delaware. They were just as physical as Monmouth. They didn't back down, and I wasn't at the game at Sacred Heart, but I'm telling you, they punished St. Francis. They punished them, and so the physicality that Delaware State has, and if they play 4 quarters, that's the other thing. They don't play 4 quarters. Man, Clarence, if you don't hush with that, brother, listen, see, Clarence, I stick to my north. I ride with my north, but Clarence, you out of turn, brother. You out of turn. I'm gonna leave that go because I don't want to insult anybody. And I love those dogs, man. I was at the game, Clarence. I shot the highlights.
Tell him, Kobe. You
didn't see what Clarence saw. You didn't see what Clarence saw.
Kobe. You was on.
Yeah, Delaware State stopped playing. They stopped playing the second half. They could have easily put up 60 or 70. And I didn't want to say that because I got respect, but you killing me, Small. So
so now wait a minute. Is this the same can you got that y'all opened up against Fayetteville State?
Man, stop talking to Clarence. We got a show to do, man.
Because Clarence told me and Chris he was gonna open up something. Chris said a can of what? I said a can of disappointment. Yeah. And Alonzo said a can of sardines and pork and beans.
Yeah.
Clearly. It was a mixture. It was a mixture of my can and Alonzo's can.
Vienna sausages.
Yeah. So speaking of Virginia, right? Josh, talk to us about the shellacking. The shellacking.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, talk to us. Just keep talking to us about the game.
So I'm gonna start it off like this. Now I didn't see it, but multiple other camera people, personnel, other people,
multiple sources. Josh, yeah, go ahead.
They seen it. So before the game,
multiple sources.
Yeah, multiple sources before the game. Union and Winston were standing on the logo, going back and forth, chopping it up, and one of the players from Virginia Union snatched the chain from Winston State's player. And whenever I heard about it from the sources, I'm like, dang, I wish I was here to see it and, film it so I can get, the intensity of the game. I say that to say before the game and the pregame, I don't know if Steve was down there or not yet, but it was a lot of trash talking going on. There was a lot of hypeness going on. I didn't know Virginia Union had talked that much trash, but they talk a lot of trash in the pregame. There was a lot of trash talking going on.
We seem to bring that out in people.
And you can tell in the pregame that Winston knew that it was a big game because they were really up. They were excited. They were
They
talking
did?
trash too. They were talking trash as well. And it was all cool. Like Winston was hooping and hollering. You know what they say. You got to place the ball and got to play. And from the start of the game, it was the Curtis Allen show. I mean, Winston didn't know what to do versus Curtis Allen. It just seemed like they didn't know that he was going to get the ball almost every play that he was in the game, and they just let him continuously keep running and go on and go on. Like we was joking about it at the beginning of the show, but I'm telling you, Kobe, like Curtis Allen probably just got another rush for 7-8 carries. Like he probably carried the ball. He probably averaged 7-8 yards a carry. It was insane. I've never seen an offense that would run the same play over and over and over and physically impose their will against another team the way that Virginia did with Fayetteville State. Like, they had kept running counter and power, pulling their guards, pulling their tackles, daring you to stack the box because they stacked the box. They put 8 people in the box. Didn't matter. They're still running power. They're still running counter. They're still running traps, pulling their guards, pulling their linemen. They even had a fullback score a touchdown one play because they had pulled them so much they were in a play action. He had got wide open down the middle and scored a touchdown. Like, it was just pure BTA, pure domination. Even though the scoreboard may say, oh, it was a close game. It was, Winston only lost by 2 touchdowns. No, it was like 24-0 in the first quarter. It was bad. But I will say this as well, though. If Winston-Salem State's offense didn't start off so slow as they did, it definitely could have been a better game. Because they the defense slowly started to put wear and tear on Curtis Allen, even though it didn't matter. But they started to get a couple stops in the backfield. They were making some plays in the backfield. But that quarterback may not be as tall as me, Kobe, or Steve combined. But he was making play after play with his legs, with his arm. He was very accurate downfield. And one of the things that make a great football team that can run the ball is a team that has a great wide receiver that you can trust on 3rd and long, that you can trust on 3rd down. And Virginia Union had that receiver that Winston just couldn't stop whenever they needed a big 3rd down.
It don't seem like Winston could stop anybody that game.
It did. That's what it felt like. I mean, every time they got the ball, we thought that they was going to score, and they pretty much did. And I mean, it wasn't.
Did they punt?
I think they punted 3 times, but I don't think they punted the whole first half, if I'm being honest. I don't think they punted the whole first half.
Did Curtis Allen jump over somebody?
I think he jumped over 2 people. He had one hurt. I think they both happened in the first quarter as well. Both in the first quarter. I mean, I'm telling you, I've never seen. I see why they call him Bo Jack. I see exactly why they call him Bo Jack, because he is the Bo Jackson of CIAA football, HBCU football. And then it's not even just Curtis Allen. What are they doing up there in Virginia Union? They got 3 other backs that are just, I ain't gonna say
4,
good, but just as
4.
It makes no sense. And then the defense. I got to give shouts out to the defense because the scoreboard shows that it was a close game, but it really wasn't. Like, the defense had a couple blown assignments. They had a 170-yard touchdown run. That was like a 60-yard touchdown run. Dalen Lee did start cooking late in the game. And, yeah, but pretty much all in all, it was BTA. It was a bad showing from Winston. They got to find a way to get that offense going early. And, now they have to bank on a couple of teams losing for them to still have a chance in the CIAA championship spot.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, I think Steve in the background playing NCAA to get his revenge himself on the team. Hey, yeah. Steve, I think Curtis Allen might have 7 touchdowns on the game as well.
Yo, they got Curtis Allen, Trayvon Tinsley, Jerome Jones, Raphael Tucker, and Tavon McGee.
Yo, Clarence said he jumped over Winston-Salem State's championship dreams. Lord have mercy. It was bad. Yeah, it was bad, Kobe. I thought it was going to be a little bit better. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, maybe Steve done gassed my head up about Dalen Lee. He gonna come out here and light him up.
No, man, listen, I tried to listen. When I talk, people look at me like I'm crazy. Like I don't know. I'm telling you, Virginia Union is stacked, bro. Now I gotta figure out. Yo, so anyway, I'm telling you. So, but what I do like about Virginia Union, their defense, Lumumba. You heard that name a lot, Lumumba?
What
The
number?
linebacker. They got the linebacker, Lumumba. They're gonna be a physical team, man. And Johnson C. Smith is another physical team. But
hey Clarence, I'm letting you know right now. It's not gonna happen, Clarence. It's not gonna happen.
I'm not even talking to him, man.
The only team that I see truly competing with Union is Fayetteville. I don't see nobody else competing with Union. I like Smith, but I think the injuries that they have with their running back and with Brevin, I don't think that they're offensively going to be enough to beat them because Union they're going to run the ball and they're going to control the time of the possession. So it needs to be a team that has somewhat of a very good offense. But I don't think that that's the reason why I got Fayetteville. I think Fayetteville because I think they're the only team in the conference that can match their offense with Fayetteville's defense. Like Fayetteville's defense is real physical. You know, they got a lot of great D linemen. They got some good linebackers, and their corners are not afraid. Their corners and safeties are not afraid to come up and tackle. And that's what you're going to need versus Curtis Allen and that run game for Virginia Union.
And he's not. They have another one that's like 215, one that's 210. The smallest running back is 200.
Yeah, that's 36, 35, I think. And he had him a couple yards on him. So
yeah, man. So
all right, y'all. Virginia, you got to buy an ad now. You know that, right?
Well, Winston-Salem got one every week.
You damn Skippy. you got Ram right.
So yeah, because you so Ram tired. But you know they're going to do something. I think they're built to go deeper in the playoffs this year. But we could come back. We're done with them, Steve. All right, Steve. He's having his temper tantrum. Oh, poor baby. What are we up to next, Steve? Talk to me. Which way is up, brother?
I think we go into breaking down the matchups that we got coming up next week. We got some big matchups next week.
And so which programs you think are trending right now? We got Virginia Union.
Yep.
Fayetteville State.
Yep.
They're all trending up. Who else? Yep. Jackson State is still up there.
But I mean, Jackson's already been there.
Yeah, Union can beat Jackson State, right?
Yeah.
No.
Delaware State, I would say, is still trending upwards.
Yeah, I would agree. Delaware State is trending upward. I would give Delaware State.
Alabama State.
Alabama State is definitely trending upward. I'm gonna go with my personal pick. I'm gonna personally go with people not going. I'm gonna just say this not because of their record, but because of what they're doing so far this season. Elizabeth City State. They got a good dominant win over Livingstone College, and they've been competing in a lot of these games versus some other teams. They competed versus Hampton because it wasn't Hampton. They just beat Livingstone College yesterday. Elizabeth City is not a team that you can sleep on no more. And even though their record doesn't show forth like that anymore, they're playing some pretty good football right now that they're going to sneak up on a team in the CIAA that's a little bit more higher than them. They're going to sneak up and steal a win from somebody. So, me personally, I got Elizabeth City State. You know, they've been down for so long. You know, I'm going to be the first one to shout them out.
All right. Well, I like the coach, but I'm thinking Edward Waters also.
Yep.
Benedict. Now, who do you think? Now let's go backwards. Let's talk about who's trending down.
Who's trending down? FAMU.
Yes.
I think FAMU is my number one trending down, man. You come off of a championship season with Willie Simmons, and then you have everything set up for the next head coach. The fans wanted them, the players wanted them. It seemed like everybody wanted them, and now all of a sudden everybody wants them gone.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean.
Well, they want you when you win. Yeah. They don't want you when you lose.
Yeah, and I mean they've been taking some tough L's recently. I mean, it hasn't looked good over there, so I'll say they're trending down for sure. Who do you got trending down so far?
You know, I was really thinking about not fam, but shucks, Norfolk State.
Yeah.
It's
Chris
trending
Tucker, are
down.
you a Virginia Union fan? I've never heard of you before today. I didn't know y'all had fans that talk on the internet.
Hold on, wait, what? Oh Jesus. Anyway,
Man,
so
I tell you what, certain wins bring stuff people all the way out.
look, his feelings is hurt.
Nah, man,
Poor sugar booger.
listen, I'm sorry, I didn't want to interrupt y'all's love fest. I'm in the middle already. I'll let y'all do that right there.
Uh-huh.
Nah. Respect to Virginia Union. They did what they were supposed to do. They did what championship programs do. No beef with them, man. Nah, they did what they were supposed to do. Now, Winston-Salem State, yeah, that it's really more so about them. It's really more so about the disappointment, the disarray, the lack of attention to detail. It's
Like even the band lost too yesterday. Like that was what really shocked me. Like the band used to be good. The Red Sea of Sound used to be real good. Even the band got washed yesterday. I don't know what's the name of the Virginia Union band name, but
nobody
even
knows what
washed
that
out
band
Winston.
name is.
Well,
But
I'm
they
gonna figure it
sounded
out
good.
today. Matter of fact, let me look it up right now because the way that they washed out Winston Red Sea of Sound yesterday, I was very surprised. That was a shock to me. I'm like, wow, the band even good. That's crazy.
Oh man. So somebody said Morgan State is trending down.
I agree.
Emmett Jones, Morgan State. I'm stuck in the middle, man. I think they've just been in the same place, and they're going to be
Nah, they
similar
trending
to the
down.
same
Next.
place.
All right, next they going down. They can only beat D2 schools, and they barely beat Miles, who's been getting beat on by everybody.
And whenever you lose to a Hail Mary, that's just all the signs of bad luck. So I can't. I think they're good.
That's all right. I
How
see
you
it's
been
in the
nice
middle.
enough for today? I'm talking to Kobe. How you been nice enough for today? All right.
I ain't gonna lie, Rodney. I'm gonna be honest. I'm new to the whole HBCU space. I started covering and helping out with HBCU game day and working full time in 2022. I've never seen a fan base be as loud as they were about the Cozy hiring than ever in my life before. Like
Yeah.
they were loud about wanting him. So I don't know who the defense coordinator is. They were very loud about who they wanted, and that's who they got. And I haven't been around for a long time.
Wasn't their fan base the same ones that were complaining about the hires of the AD?
Listen, yes, the same ones, same exact ones. They fan base a little bit. I don't know what's going on out there.
And now he's a bad guy, right? 2 losing seasons. The guy you picked.
The ambassador of Sound Marching Band. Okay, cool. Bet. Yeah.
I might go follow them on Instagram.
VUU Ambassadors of Sound Marching Band. Yep, that's the name. Washed Winston yesterday. Washed the Red Sea of Sound. But yeah, no. We're going to keep this program going. Next up, we're going to wrap it up with
a helmet sticker.
A helmet sticker.
So Josh, you just gave yours out.
What the Union Band?
Yep, the ambassadors of sound.
I think so. You know what? I am. That's who my matter of fact, Virginia Union as a whole school, I'm gonna give them a shout out because going from Jada Byers to Curtis Allen is like you're not missed. Like there's been no fall off between the two at all. They're probably both going to lead. He's probably going to. I mean, he has 1,000 yards in what 4 games?
Steve, Josh, didn't I tell you this about Curtis Allen? Y'all don't listen to me.
Like I mean, I
called him the D2 Derrick Henry.
You knew he was nice. We knew he was nice.
I didn't know who the man was.
We seen the numbers. We knew
See?
he was nice.
I didn't know who the man was. I didn't know who the man was. I know who he is now. I know exactly who he is. I was just thinking, like, how could someone be just as good as Jada Byers? And Jada Byers just left. And I'm like, lo and behold, just as good.
So that means he might put up 500 on he might get 400 yards versus the Clarence.
If you don't cramp up like he did versus Winston, that's the only reason why they pulled him out. He was cramping up.
Well, Bowie's defense is a little physical too.
Yeah.
So
you're gonna give your helmet sticker too.
So I want to give mine to Nemo Washington because he's got that offense moving. I see what he's trying to do. Delaware State has a dynamic offense led by the run, but they also can pass. I just want to see the quarterback hit more throws than using his legs a lot of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who you giving Steve? Who you giving your helmet sticker to?
All right, I'm gonna give mine since obviously, since Josh already gave it to Curtis, very much deserving. I'm gonna give it to Morgan from Jackson State.
Okay,
that's a good one. That's
fair.
That's fair. And also, if you guys don't know what the helmet stickers are, it's basically like we're shouting out a certain player or a certain school or a certain team for, their efforts and what they've been doing recently throughout the season. Just basically, shining some light on something that's, some people may not take into account, or just some players that we like, or some teams that we like, or some school that we liked in this past couple of weeks. So that's what the helmet stickers are. Eventually we're going to try to have that more going on this season. And if you guys have any personal helmet stickers you guys want to leave in the comment section, we would love for you guys to see them and love for you guys to drop them down in the comment section.
Yeah. And so now here's my thought for the week. Defense definitely does, or physical play definitely does travel. And we got to see that this week with several teams. And I love watching those teams dominate, especially up front. And so I'm going to take that into my life. Physical offense and defense will travel. You know what I'm saying? So if you stay out there, stay aggressive, and be ready to go, things will happen for you. And I'll be at Delaware State this weekend. It's their homecoming. This is the first one I think they're looking towards winning, and everybody really believes that they can win in a long time. So I'm ready to see the numbers. I'm going down there to eat. So if you at Delaware State or at DSU, set me a little plate aside. You know what I'm saying? So, make something there. I'll be at the tent with my frat brothers too. I'm coming around. I go to all the Greek tents and have some fun.
Okay. Me, like I said earlier in the show, trying to get me out the Alabama State versus Jackson State. Potentially more. Well, I ain't even gonna say potential. I'm just going to say it. SWAC game, the biggest game of the HBCU season, in my opinion, because this is going to be a big game, especially with the body of work. No pun intended, but the body of work that both of these teams have put together this whole season. Man, I mean, it's going to be fireworks. And on top of all that, is JSU's homecoming. So it's going to be exciting. I can't wait to get down to Jackson. It'll actually be my second time ever going out there. And I'm excited for it. Ready to see two good football teams lay it all on the line, man, because, they're both in the same side of the conference. So this game is going to have a lot of implications to go on later down in the season. So I'm glad that there's not that many injuries, or I pray that there's no injuries or no serious injuries to no star players or any key players on the either side of the teams, because I just want to go out there and see a great game. I want to see two teams laying it out there for all four quarters, giving it all they got. And just the early prediction, I think is going to be a low-scoring game. I think the hype right now is around both of the offenses and both of the quarterbacks playing great. Andrew Body, Jacoby, and Morgan. I think they're both getting all the hype right now. But I think the story in between the lines of the game is going to be the defenses. Like, both of these defenses are very, very, very well, very, very, very well coached. Both disciplined, both physical, both fast, both have playmakers on the outsides and, run stuffers on the inside. So I think the key comes down to whose defense. Of course, that's what it always is, like who can stop the team from scoring more points. But I think this game is going to come down to who can stop the run. Who can stop the run? Whoever can stop the run and hold the other team to being one-dimensional will win this game. Because, yes, Andrew Body and Jacoby Morgan can pass the ball. Yes, they can pass the ball very well. But a lot of that stems from the run game. And also with me, according to that, is the quarterback runs as well. Can you stop the quarterback runs? Can you stop the quarterback powers? Can you stop the RPOs with the quarterback? Can you stop the quarterback draws? So me personally, I think it's going to be about which team can slow down the run, make the other team one-dimensional to where they have to focus primarily on that. And me personally, I feel like whichever quarterback throws, like if they can have if either team can make the other quarterback throw for over 40 attempts, I think the team with the less passing attempts will win the game. I think they want to keep this ground on the game. Both teams need to try their hardest to control the clock because the other team's offense is humming and running at a high power right now. So I think this game is going to be about defense. Who can keep the team off the field? Because Jackson State just converted 30 first downs versus Alabama A&M, which is insane. 30 first downs is wild. That's wild. I mean, they couldn't get off the field. Alabama couldn't get off the field. And you don't want that. You don't want JSU just running the ball and getting a first down at every single time that they can. So, Alabama State or Jackson State needs to force them to third and longs, make them drop back and throw the ball, make them not be able to have, options on third and medium, third and 4, third and 2, to where they can call up that quarterback run. So that's just my key thoughts about the game so far. And I'm excited. I'm really excited for it.
All right, I'm ready to talk now. So, yeah, I had to turn around because I didn't want us to get demonetized. Expletives, I didn't want us to get demonetized. That is, again, congratulations to Virginia Union. Hey, they got a great team. They did what they were supposed to do. This is really more so indictment of Winston-Salem State University football over the last decade. It's not really one, and it's really not one game. Don't roll your eyes at me, Kobe. I'm making points. It's not really about one game. You lose a game, it happens. But it was a physical manifestation of a decade of neglect for a program. And literally every time the lights come on, you get disappointed. And it's been a consistent thing, and things have to change. And, so again, congratulations to them. I did earlier in this week, I did a piece on Virginia Union and Winston-Salem State, because historically, again, over the last 50 years, the two of them have 20 championships, 12 for WSSU, 8 for Virginia Union. And I feel like CIAA football really deserves a bigger spotlight. And so one of the things I don't think they do well is creating rivalry games, and other than like the natural stuff or whatever. So, it's just this. It's you see one program that everybody has their ups and downs, but you just kind of see how one program has been dedicated to. Because I told you I'm almost 40, and I'm learning how to not curse out. Because I feel like cursing, and it really has nothing to do with Virginia Union. God bless you. Good, good on you. It really just has to do with the disgust. And like I said, a product. Yeah. So look, a really bad product, So there's that. But, it's my school, and I'm going to stick beside them. They got to make some changes. They got to make some changes like yesterday. But, we'll get onto that on my other platform. So, congratulations. Hopefully Union doesn't win the Winston Cup. I don't think that they will, but the Winston Cup is the team, the biggest win of the year is against WSSU. It was Johnson C. Smith last year. They celebrated on our field. But Virginia Union has been there before, so I don't think they'll get it. I think they'll finish it up. So we'll see. But until then,
you got to give out a helmet sticker, bro.
I did give out a helmet sticker.
Oh, okay.
I gave it to Jacoby and Morgan.
Oh, okay. That's right. You're right.
So, yeah. All right, guys. Well, this has been Road Warriors.
This has been Road Warriors. Go ahead and finish, Steve.
Yeah. Next week, the Rams are on the road, but I don't think I'm going to be going. I think I need some time away again. So I guess I'll go hang with the Aggies. It's a little closer anyway.
Always come to Delaware State.
What do you say?
You can come to Delaware State, hang out with us.
Yeah. I'm sure they don't want to see me over there either in Durham. Well, at least we'll go to Durham once this year. All right, guys. Peace.